Hello, she's Trixie, and I'm Sara, and this is our Yarn World, the place where we come to share our love for the yarn crafts and what it does for us, what we hope we can share share with you, and that hopefully it does for you as well.
Yeah. Today we are on episode 20, and we're doing something different today. We are doing notions bags, and what the differences are, or the similarities, what we put into them.
What they are in general, because I would have never even thought of this had she not actually showed this idea to me, and it's like brilliant. I don't know why I haven't ever thought of this before.
And how we differ, even though we're mother and daughter, how we differ and what we put into our bags. So,
I'm excited. I'm excited because I know that you're going to be different than I am, and I know that our needs are different, because the whole point is to have things accessible to you at any given time
that you actually use,
that you use on the regular.
Yes.
We hope that this comes fun for you. Hopefully we give you some ideas of things that maybe you can put in yours, even just making yours. Because again, I didn't even think about making one until she had introduced the idea, and she gave her old bag to me to be able to do with, and where you can find them, where in a cheaper option, because she found a good way of doing it in that way too, we have hot cocoa today.
Because it's colder.
Yeah.
It turned like 43 degrees and it isn't going any further than that.
And we were in the 80s the day before.
Yeah.
We were in the 80s and then went straight to 40, where everyone here is just like, why?
But then again, we live in Michigan and we can get all 4 seasons in the same day.
Yeah.
So... we shouldn't.
Just living in the north.
We're kind of disappointed that it fell and is not and it's all windy and cold. And so hot chocolate just sounds good today.
Yeah. And just doing something a little different makes this feel so much more like
cozy and nice.
Despite the weather, we're just gonna have a good time.
Yes. So everything. I've already started to gather information to put into the description area, so both
links to things that
both of our bags will be in the description area. The new hooks that I got are in the description area, and whatever else we end up talking about during the video
that might deem itself
worthy,
is
going to be put in there also. So, here we go, folks. This is my new bag, and I love it. It's got 2 zippers, 2 compartments, and it is so soft and so nice, and I love the pattern on it. I am a teal and pink person, so this just really...
screamed to you.
Yes, it was my aesthetic. So, in the top compartment... I am holding I'm just arranging stuff here, my new BeCraftee hooks. These are not expensive. They come 12 hooks to a pack, and they have all different kind of sizes. And like I said, I am putting them in the description so that you guys can look into it and see if that's something that you would like to have. These pins, I have one that says I'm hooked on you, and the other one says crochet is cool. And then I've got my mesh pocket, and I'm going to open that up. Now on the zipper I have one of the light bulb hooks, and it's got 3 different lengths of darning needles.
That's really clever.
Yeah, and I just keep them there for access, easy access. But I have my little purple mesh bag with the light bulb hooks that have the different letters of the hooks on them. So if I ever have to leave a project and I need the hook, I can put this hook marker on there and know exactly what hook I was using when I left that project.
Yeah.
And it's a very good.
It's such a simple. It's the simple things. It's the whole, if you, for those that forget to lay the pattern with it, or forget what they were doing when they were doing it, the hook size really matters about the equalness of the attention, and just to even just add a bead with the letter on it or the number, and just attach it to your project, it just eliminates so much sadness.
The light bulb hooks I will link down in the description, and the little beads I found at Dollar Tree, so it was very inexpensive. I also keep in there some safety pins, just as a way of keeping my work from unraveling every once in a while. I have in here my hook
measure.
Yeah, the measure thing, and the what is that?
Gauge.
The gauge, yes. In case I ever make swatches, I can do the gauge with that.
It's a Susan Bates hook measure for I do believe this is crochet and knitting accessible. You just put your needles through the holes and it will tell you what size it is. Amazingly enough, that can be very important, and it has centimeter ruler on top and a inches ruler on the bottom. And again, this helps measure your gauge if you need it to make sure that your project turns out the same as the one that you're likely following that has gauge counters on it.
Right.
So
some more of the light bulb stitches that I can just
pull out if you need them.
Pull out if I need them, or share with other people if they don't have something when we're all stitching together. Band-aids. You never know when you're going to need one, and Band-aids are always good in case you get one of those hangnails or something that has ripped on your finger, or a little cut or whatever, a paper cut. You can always put a Band-aid on there and keep working. Oh,
and I would like to say, for any of those that deal with tension problems when it comes to holding your yarn, I have personally tried the rings.
Yeah.
You had made me one.
Yeah.
And they kept slipping, and it was hurting. When I was a kid, I used to put a Band-aid where my tension would be, and I would be able to hold the tension, but it would slide off of the canvas on this, and it wouldn't actually dig into my finger.
Right. That's a good tip.
So, idea for anyone who that didn't work for them either.
Yeah. My scissors. And my
tape measure.
Yeah, the tape measure. Jeez, I'm just not remembering words today.
You're fine.
And a file for my nails. If you ever get those pesky sharp edges on your nails or anything, or you need to just smooth out a nail that it's catching on your yarn or whatever, these come in really handy, and they don't take up that much room.
I've never thought about putting that in.
This
idea is completely new to me. So, but that's smart. I like that one.
It's just a
might
really
have to
good
add
idea.
That to mine.
So,
side 2.
Now we are going into the second part.
By the way, what she hasn't mentioned yet is these are pencil cases. So, again, she has the links down below, but
actually, yours is a pencil case. Mine is actually a hook.
Oh, yours is actually... Okay.
It came for the hooks.
So the idea was that you can get them like this as an actual notions bag, or you could actually just buy a very... really, really, really high-duty pencil cases that could operate the same way if you didn't have the money for this, or you already had the pencil case that could Just double in use.
Use what you got at home.
Right.
So the second one, the second pocket, I have my boy hooks.
My boy.
And I have another pin that says Yarn Addict. Now these 3 pins that I got came from Joann's. They came the 3 in a pack, and I just thought it's so cute to look at when you just open up your bag.
Oh, and you have a pen right there too.
Yeah, and I stuck a pen in there. It's as thin as a hook, and you never know when you're going to need to write something down. So on the other end of that, you're going to always need paper to write those notes. If you're making changes to your project, or if you think of something that you don't want to forget later on, or if you have to take a phone call and you have a doctor's appointment or something coming up, it's always nice to just write those things down, forget it, and get back to your project. And you got it written down so you don't have to worry about it.
It's like there's like a mini coin pouch thing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I have some more hook, the bigger hooks back here, and the little the yarn ring that I made for both of us. I have mine hanging in here, and then like she said, it's got a little
coin purse.
It's attached.
Yep.
And I have more darning needles.
Okay.
My mother-in-law, we just mentioned a couple weeks ago, she had died, and she left a extensive sewing kit, and so I was able to find those in the kit
Included.
And the other thing, I got toenail clippers, because the toenail clippers, the reason I did that, you can cut your fingernails with them. You're not going to cut your toenails or anything like that, but if you ever get on an airplane and you can't bring your scissors, you can always bring nail clippers.
If you want to continue your project and it
you
requires...
can still cut your yarn.
Yeah.
But it also has...
Are there tools attached?
It's also got the file on it, so in case you get those pesky places on your nails. So
that grab at the yarn.
Yeah.
And
so it's an all-inclusive tool. You can use it for so many reasons, and it's just in your no snooze bag in case you ever need it.
I like this.
So, and on my zipper, because I tend to hang things on my zippers. I just do.
She always has.
But I've got a little stitch marker with scissors on it.
That's so cute.
But it's hanging from a safety pin.
Off the zipper.
Yeah, off the zipper. So if I ever need to mark another spot, I've got all kinds of stitch markers to put in with it. This is
clever. I need one.
When I was in my quilting group, one of the ladies surprised us by bringing us a little
fabric
it's
pouch. That would.
It's a pouch that's a little garbage can, and you can throw your excess. Like when we were quilting, it was the scraps of thread that we would cut off. We would put them in there instead of them hanging all over our clothes.
Right.
But now I can put my scraps of yarn in it when I'm doing a project, and it just folds right up, and later on you can just toss it in the garbage whenever you need. And you know, when you get to a place that instead of getting up every time and going to throw it away, you can put it in one spot, close it up, and when you want to, you can just throw those scraps away, but it closes right down to hardly nothing.
I need one.
And
I need
the last thing that I have in here is gonna seem a little silly, but when your hands get cold and you still want to work, it's just nice to have. And I made my own little fingerless gloves out of something that my husband brought home from work, but they're just fingerless glove, or I cut off the fingers, but something that I can still use, but then my hand and my wrist are covered, and it
they still have grip to them too.
Yeah, and it helps me to stay warm while I'm still doing my project. Mm-hmm. And that's it. that's what I have in my bag.
Well, there's definitely a difference in what we have in our bags.
That's true, but that's the difference with everybody. I mean, we all have different things that we like to carry around and have reasons to do so.
Yeah, well, like, we keep joking how she is like the blanket whiz, and I do like dolls, amigurumis, pillows, objects. I like to create a little bit more 3D stuff, whereas you like to do like 2D stuff.
Yeah. I like doing the warmth of blankets.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I was just making a joke.
But I think that's why I like doing the quilts too. It was just something to have to warm you up when you needed it. And they look so pretty and so beautiful when you get done.
Yeah. When she got this Notions pouch bag, she gave me what she had used prior.
Yes.
Which was a pencil case that she had heard from someone could double as a Notions bag.
Yeah.
Obviously, she updated hers due to this. It only has so much room in it, and something that I will be talking about, because though this is working so well for me right now, there was so much I wish I had more room
to put
stuff, and I feel like something that her size would accommodate a little better. But at the same time, this is working so well when I never had anything like this already. This already is like a step up, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's just a decent, it looks like a pencil case, but it's canvas and it has an actual zipper, which makes it a little bit more heavy duty than the normal traditional ones.
Yeah, and it's not plastic.
Yeah, it's not plastic. It's not like those sliding ones that just come out of the sleeve. Like, it literally says Cool Pencil Case on it, which that is the company's name. So if you were to go online and look up Cool Pencil Case,
like I'm going to have it in the description.
So pardon the mess in mine, but oh good Lord, I can't even lift this up really. So this is how mine kind of looks right now. I have these my elastic band that is supposed to hold the pencils or whatever this would traditionally be used for double its worth. I'm kind of using it for everything, but we'll start with the door pockets real quick. So so what I originally thought was, when my mom gave this to me, I thought this mesh portion actually went behind this pouch, but it actually is just half and half. So this is just a regular Velcro pouch, and then this is a mesh pouch. And the Velcro pouch, I have my measurements, so I have like a regular length measuring tape, and then I have a rotary measuring tape. So it's like one of these that so
you get all the fun stuff.
I got those two based off of different needs. The mesh has my scissors. Now these scissors are a little bit different than the prior collapsible scissors I'd shown, like the ones that kind of fold out and fan out.
Yeah.
These ones you have to pull and then they snap open.
And they're heavy duty.
They are very heavy. Not very, very, but I mean, compared to their size, they are sturdy.
Yeah.
They're very sturdy. These feel like really, really heavy duty scissors, and so they just collapse very easy. And I really like them. I feel good. I probably will link a link to these.
Yeah, that would be really, really good if you did.
I have a thimble. I have a pencil sharpener. Just a little one that my mom had let me have, and an eraser in here as well. Kind of working as a pencil case, I guess, in its free time as well. Gotta make it feel like it does still have its prior worth in it.
But Sara is also into sewing, so this is all stuff that she can use for her sewing stuff too.
So there's going to be an explanation to that in this next area. For the little flap right here, I have my two favorite size crochet hooks are in here.
Yeah, the ketchup and the mustard.
The ketchup and the mustard that I joked about earlier. So I have the mustard is an H and the ketchup is an F. And I have my oh, I guess I should just bring these out. I didn't realize that this wasn't focusing so well. So I have my crochet hook. I have a pencil. I have a pen. Here, let me take this over. Thank you. Thank you for holding it. I got a pencil and a pen, and then I have my other crochet hook, which is the F, I do believe, which is my ketchup, and then I have a little seam ripper.
Yeah. That
I have in there as well. This is not. There you go. And they are all in the elastic bands holding section. And I only have 4 or 5 available slots, so some of these are doubled up.
But that works out too. I do that as well.
So flipping that over, I have my my cavity. So this thing has this big open trunk tent cavity, and it just kind of has stuff thrown around. But I have like this little, like she had said, we got some stuff when my grandma passed away. We got a lot of the sewing stuff, and my grandma had some available threads in a little pouch, so it was easy enough to throw it in. I already had this Singer collection worth of sewing needles. Like, these are very specific darning needles. I don't have all of them in there, as some of these are being used for different things, but some of them are curved. Some of them are thick with a tip curve. Some of them are just the normal darning needles. And I have accompanied in the pouch with it a normal needle carrier with needles inside, and I have the traditional collapsible scissors in this pouch as well. I had originally used this more as a grab and throw.
Right.
Before I had this bag. As well as I just recently bought this, but this is a huge set, so it's going to be, I really don't want to open it just to show every single thing, but I can probably put this in line on a link too. I got this on Amazon. This little container is holding darning hooks of every single size that you would ever need. Big, small, metal, plastic, colored, curved. Like, this thing has every sort of darning hook you'd ever need in it. Darning meaning yarn needle.
Yeah.
I also have stoppers for knitting. I have what are they called?
Stitch markers.
Stitch markers galore in here, and it was a good set. This was very cheap for having all this in it, and it came in this. So
and I like all the colors.
I love the colors.
Yeah.
This I thought this was cute. So my grandma also had this. It's this little metal container that when you open it up is a sewing kit. Now she had some needle threaders in it. And it also had some safety pins and stuff in a little pouch with like what you would normally have in a sewing kit, like buttons and stuff. But what I thought was really clever in this little thing is, you know, the traditional, I had just showed you it, most pins or needles come in this little tube.
Or used to, yeah.
Or used to, yes. They have a little cap on the top that can be pressed in like a cork that is attached to it, and it's just in this little tube. This little sewing kit had one of those, but it also had little separators that allowed for
like little spools.
It was sectioned off with these little sections on the outside of the needle carrier to make spools to be able to have white, gray, gold, and black yarn attached in this little container that you could just throw in your purse that had
everything you needed.
Everything you needed if you were in a pinch and you already had scissors in your purse. And I was just like, this is brilliant. And of course, I don't necessarily need this little thing probably in here, but considering if I'm intentionally bringing a project, I'm likely already going to have this. But even if I just threw this in my purse or something, or what would be the equivalent of my purse right now would be the diaper bag. If I just threw this in there, like, I'd have everything I needed. Like, if I, like, rewound everything, but still, just like, that's brilliant.
And it's it
so compact.
It must have been used for like, each state must have had one, because this one is from Illinois.
I think that this was something that, like, she traveled and picked this up at, like, some sort of Illinois state or a thing, like, maybe, like, in a tourist shop or something, you know what I mean? But, like, it's cute. It's good. I really like it.
Clever ideas like that just get my organization side very, very happy.
The things I'm about to show are kind of unique to
you.
For me. But I always have them around now. Like, I can't not have them when I'm working. I need them. One of them is this would be a Leatherman rebar. Sorry, that sounds so manly. Nothing wrong with that, but this is one of my husband's that he let me have. And this is a multi-tool. But what it has is grips. When I am working with, I'm sorry, I'm looking into the camera recorder instead of the lens. Hi, how are you? I work with amigurumis, which are little dolls, all the time. And sometimes when I'm trying to pull and sew limbs together, you have to twerk the needle in a way that sometimes now it's getting stuck in the stuffing with the yarn not being as thin as thread, and it gets caught. And I struggle to get it out because you can't get a really good grip with fingers sometimes. So I love this thing because it's collapsible. It has multiple tools. Like, it has the file that she was talking about having. It has a file. It has a whole bunch of knives and different tools, screwdrivers, flatheads, bottle opener. You know, it has everything I would need. It also doubles as a ruler as well, as you can see.
Oh my gosh.
So the thing, if I collapse it, I can have it length out to a full, like almost half a ruler. Like, if I have it like this,
how clever is that?
If I straighten it out and have all tip to tip, I have a ruler using these. Like, I have everything I'd need on this thing. But using these allows me to grab the needle and help get a better grip and pull the needle through. And I can't live without that. I've been doing this craft for a while. I know I seem young, and I am, but I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Right.
And I used to play flute as well, and I was never taught how to properly exercise my hands, and so they get fatigued at times because of how much their muscle memory has been kind of abused.
Yeah.
And so I have to be very careful, and having something as simple as this can make my comfort hobby not so strenuous on me, when it makes it so much continuously enjoyable instead of stressing about not being able to get a needle through. Like, it's simple things like that.
When you're trying to grip a needle and you've got a tool like that, it's so much easier. When I was doing quilting, I had jewelers pliers, and they were just little ones, but that was my help in pulling needles through when they needed to be pulled.
Yep.
So I figured this is a wonderful tool for her when she makes all those stuffed animals.
Now, this is a little bit of a specific buy, but let me tell you what the inspiration is. So yes, you can buy pin cushions that strap to your arm. You can. Those have been around for a while.
Yeah.
But the idea came to me, and I know it's going to sound funny, but for any of you that have watched any of my videos up to this point, you'll know I want to become a seamstress, and I've I love seamstressing. I love making and doing stuff like that. I don't necessarily want to make clothes, but I would like to alter clothes. I'd like to change them to people's styles, what they're pre-existing already have. But my probably inspiration character, which is probably going to make her have a kick, is the Mad Hatter.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably the introduction to seamstress, stitching, seamstressing, clothes making in a way that is to you, that has a little bit more liberty.
Yeah.
It's a passion. And I like Johnny Depp's version of him.
Yeah.
Because he's so passionate about what he does. It brings out his character, makes him happy. And he had a ring in his, when Johnny Depp plays him, that is a pincushion.
Oh my gosh.
The ring itself, his main big ring on him, is a little pincushion, and he uses it all the time. When you don't think about it, when you see him actually sewing, he uses that pincushion all the time. And it's a small detail that I picked up on as a kid when I watched it, and I always thought, I would love to have something like that. Like, I want to be a cool crafter like that, that has wearable tools.
You have to have both hands when you're doing this. So and having anything that
can attach to you makes it so much easier. Scissors being on you, never having to lose them because they're a necklace or something, like wearables. Yes. And I found this. This is a magnet bracelet that snaps on like you know those old bracelets that
you just like snap. Yeah, the snap bracelets.
It's a magnet. See, there's a needle already on it.
That is so awesome.
I know it's stupid. It probably is. I'm probably overexcited. But this thing brought me so much happiness when it came in Amazon. I was so happy.
Happy is happy, man. You have to do what makes you feel like you're getting something accomplished.
But I use, and I've never hurt anybody else but myself, by the way, just so you know, because most of you probably already know I have 2 small kids. But when I'm crafting, it's during their nap time, and I am always sitting on the couch or on my mattress when I'm doing it, on my bed. And I've always, because I never have a pincushion with me, have used the mattress or right next to me, like the cushion on the back of the couch, like this. I've always done that. I've just always done it because I'm right next to it. And when I hear them, I always take everything and I throw it back into my project. I always do. I have probably never grabbed everything. Right. But the other day, I rolled in my bed and a needle came out. Again, I've never not. But that scared the crap out of me. I kept being like, James, something's touching me. And I found it. It was a pin. I remember I count my pins when I do it deliberately because I do that. I put it into the stuff and I want to make sure I have everything back because I don't want my kids to grab it or anything. Right. Well, anyway, because I have this now, I don't have that problem. And I deliberately chose to do it in a magnet form because you can get it in a pincushion form that straps on because of... I didn't want it to fall out. Even with pincushions, not saying that it happens a lot, but it kind of grabs it. It gives it something to put into, but it can also be knocked off. This has more of a hold on it, and I don't have to worry that's just going to knock off. If I brush against something, then pin's going to fall out of the pincushion. Right. This is going to stay on. Yeah. And... my last thing in my notions bag that was attached to this, you probably saw, was this little thing. And the reason why it's staying on is because it's just a piece of fleece that I have pins on that I just have generally just stuck on this. And when I put it back into the pouch, before I throw everything back into this cavity, this particular pouch, just so you know, does come with this little flap. So it's a cavity and it's pretty deep. But it has this little optional pouch that can fold out that can be like for extra room if you need like erasers or something to stand right there, and then things other than that not touching it. But I just have it actively laying flat because I don't need it. But this is in there. So I thought that I would share that if you were to choose to get this. I do like this. Please understand, I do appreciate it. I just don't know how... I don't think this is going to be my forever Notions bag, if that makes sense.
I understand.
But yeah, so I don't know what I would even change it to. I don't even know, but I really think that if you are a crafter, even if it's not this, if you're a crafter in any case, even if it's woodworking or something, you should have something that is already set with the tools that you need on hand at any given time. My favorite thing about this is if I grab this and throw it in my bag with a ball of yarn, if I were to walk out the door, I'd probably come back with something because everything I would need was already with me at any given time.
And that's what I like about it too.
And it pretty much eliminates my need to have to think through, what if, because my what ifs are already taken care of.
Yeah.
And it just, I love it. I love it so much. The only thing I'm going to say about the magnet pin cushion idea is that I know it's weird. I don't know if the reason why it feels weird on my arm is just because it is tight. Just to keep it in place. And I already have really thin wrists anyway. But my husband has mentioned that he remembers reading a study that... I can't remember what it was. It was supposed to be some sort of like relief bracelet, but it was a magnetic bracelet and it was supposed to help relieve something. I can't remember what it was. I
know that magnetic bracelets are supposed to relieve some kind of pains.
Yeah, but you have to be careful because there were some patients that were wearing them too long and their iron would actually not continue to flow in their blood. It would get collected and they would cause blood clots.
Yikes.
I don't genuinely think this is that powerful, and and those magnets are all the way around likely, and so they're kind of concentrating it.
Just magnets on the top.
Yeah, and it does have the rubber guard, but again, like I said, this might just be the thing, but you just gotta be careful when you're wearing magnets. I'm just saying that in general. Like, I have to be careful wearing this around my husband because he has a pacemaker. Right. So I have to be sure that I'm not like next to him. Because if I just accidentally brush up against him or something, I don't think this is that strong, but I wouldn't want to affect his already preset pacemaker that's very up to the surface. So, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling, but there's things to think about when you're buying some of the stuff. I love that thing. I plan on buying more, just so I do have extra. I would never not say get it. Just be aware if those are a thing that you might...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
We'll find that. We'll put it in the description area.
Reason why I have a pen and a pencil that I meant to mention was that pens and pencils have different uses depending on your craft.
Exactly.
You might need it for completely different needs. Like right now, I'm helping my mom with the pattern that she made. Yep. I'm going through it, proofreading it, and I've had to make a lot of changes to make it function better. Her pattern's the same. It's the execution that's a little different. Right. That she needs some help with.
And she's counting all the stitches too, so that helps.
And normally I just need a pen with my stuff. I never need a pencil, but because I'm constantly having to erase and rewrite, I need that pencil. I know it's kind of like an obvious thing, but it just kind of seems ironic that I actually need a pencil in my pencil case.
Well, I have a friend who uses pencil on her agenda pages, her day planner, because she says too many things get
changed,
canceled. And so she just erases them out of her schedule, and she doesn't have to think about them anymore.
Yep.
So I had never thought of that. I have always used pen, and then just had to cross it out or white it out. And when she told me that, it was just like, wow, the simple ideas are sometimes the most the best ideas.
And it's not like you don't know that's what it's used for. It's just that you've never considered it for yourself because you always favor something over that.
You just don't think of it sometimes.
Well, and the thing is, like, my brother had a vendetta against pencils. And he always said pens are nothing. Like, he always taught me pens are nothing, pens are nothing. And I always liked pencils when I was growing up. But, because I would always make mistakes and I would like to have the option of erasing it. But he's like, pens are nothing, because he wouldn't take pencil. And, because he was a writer and he was a musician and still is. And
he's a songwriter.
And it scares him, the idea that if he put something down, it could be rubbed off because he needs the reliability that it's going to stay put. Yeah. So he always told me pens are nothing. And so I just now have this irrational, like, I don't ever use pencil anymore. It's like I have to use pen all the time. Yeah. And so, I don't know. It's stupid, but it's nothing really that big of a deal. But it's the small things that you just don't even realize you grow accustomed to.
Right. And to that end, our Bible verse this week is, search for wisdom as for hidden treasure. So, use those pencils and those erasers. Those simple ideas are sometimes the best. But if we're searching for wisdom, we're searching for His wisdom, not ours. And we're looking for it as if we would look for a hidden treasure, a buried treasure, something that you value, that is valuable when you find it. And that is found in Proverbs 2:4.
I think it's the simple ideas that make things easier. So it's like the idea of, I remember when I used to work as a custodian, and I hate blinds. I hate cleaning blinds.
Me too.
And I don't know
what... Or ceiling fans. Ooh.
Yeah. And I know this is going to be a really bad example because I don't remember what it was that... Like, I know that it was God, granted, but it was like a God-given, like, inspiration to change my cleaning method to make the blinds get cleaned much more efficiently and quicker. Yeah. And I remember just staring at the blinds for like 5 minutes after I got the idea or God gave it to me, and I'm just like, why have I been doing it the other way this whole entire time? And it's like those epiphany moments where it's like, that's so obvious. Because, like, you get a sewing kit. You get something that is already pre-understood, pre-known, pre-understood idea, but the idea of having a sewing kit for any other yarn crafts was nothing that I had ever even thought about doing. It's like, no, I have a sewing kit. I wouldn't need a yarn kit. And then she's like, here's an ocean bag. And you're like, what? I know. Like, I know it's simple. I know it's known. I know it's not really that big of a deal. It's like a toolbox. Like, who doesn't have a toolbox? But you just don't think about it. It's things that you just don't, like, it's the whole idea that you can use a pencil case for it. Like,
well, and you're bringing everything that you need to somebody else's house. If you need it, you've got it. And I bring a little bit extra in case those people happen to want, an extra darning needle or a light bulb stitch marker or a safety pin. It's so easy to find until you don't have it with you. Yep. And so if you've got those and you've got a little extra, and if you're in a group of people and somebody needs something, you've got it. And it's just that thought that you can just throw it in your bag, your project bag, and go, and you have everything you need, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So,
well, and I'm someone who...
Well, let me make an addendum on that. As long as you put it back in the bag when you're done with it.
Well, that's the whole thing, because, like, with me, I don't think I have anything to show how I use... Well, maybe... Yeah, this is a good idea. So I have this thing where I just have these plastic Ziplocs, big Ziplocs, and generally when I have an idea or I get a pattern, I have my mom print it off, and she always puts my patterns in Ziploc so that it doesn't get ruined. That's just her way of keeping it together without stapling it, because the more likelihood isn't that I'm going to lose all the papers, it's that I'm going to have the kids trash it.
Yeah.
So she just throws it always in a Ziploc, right? Well, because of that, I always throw everything into the Ziploc. I am not kidding. I throw the crochet hooks I need, my yarn. I have all the tools I need in there, everything. Like, I have generally everything. And by the end of it, it is a wrecking mess. It has... It has so many little loose end threads. It has everything you would need. Half of my sewing kit's in here by the end of it. I have like 10 darning hooks, all this stuff, and I can never find any of it. It's like a crap. It's like a contractor's truck, and he ends up going to buy another hammer because he can't find the 10 hammers that he has in his truck because it's not organized.
Yes. We know that kind of person.
Well, anyway, I always end up using the Ziploc. I always have the Ziploc with me, with everything in it. And then my mom was just like, you could just have... And I'm just sitting there just feeling like I'm some uncultured swine. If I came into any sort of sewing group with all my Ziploc bags and the needles are poking out at me, and I'm just sitting there just like, yup.
That's me.
I once was in a postpartum mummies group. I went with another friend, and I had never been to one. I didn't really need it. I was going to support. And I had a good time, but I didn't know what chocolate time was. Like I think my one, it was my, Olivia was 1. And she's on my lap. And so they're just passing out chocolate, and I'm just thinking, oh, they're just handing out chocolate. So I instantaneously open it up and throw it into my mouth and just eat it. And now this lady, the lead lady, is up in the front, and, and she's like, "Now I want you to take a peaceful moment and shut your eyes while you're opening the candy."
Oh, wow.
And you were supposed to put the candy in your mouth and suck on it while you're thinking about having a calm moment. And I'm sitting there just being like,
"Mine's gone."
And I'm trying so hard not to let on that I've already eaten it. Because no one has done what I've done. No one. No one was so in need of that chocolate. So I deliberately acted like this in the tin that it came in was so crunched up because so there was no good way of me acting like I was opening it up, but I did and acted like I was out, and she looks deliberately everyone in the face, and it's like, so you having your moment? Like, that person with my Ziploc bags.
Oh, well. I mean...
And so this is novel.
Yeah.
This, I'm stepping up in the world.
It's a brilliant idea. I'm glad somebody thought of it.
Because I would never have. But it's like she said, you gotta put things back, and you gotta keep it organized. You know, it's something that you have to maintain because, oddly enough, if one thing is out of it when you need it, it's going to throw you off. And like, I have like 3 different scissors in there in 3 different spots just in case.
Yeah.
Because, you know, but, oh my goodness, I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. I'm so sorry.
Well, the joy of the Lord is our strength, right? So... Well, that was episode 20, folks. We're finally on our way. We're doing what we love to do, and we're bringing you along with us, and we're glad that you're here with us. And if you would like any of the descriptions or the links, they'll be in the description area. And we're just glad you're here with us, and we're happy to share the Lord with you. And if you like this kind of content, just hit the subscribe button so that you can be along on this journey with us. Have the joy that we find being with you guys. And yeah, if you need anything, you know, any prayer requests, any tell us what brings you joy, or what's in your notion bag. Yeah. Put that either in the comment area, or you can email us, and we'll put that in the description area too. So
yeah, we just hope that, you know, me sharing some embarrassing stories about how you know, we can come so far. We can be so good at what we're doing, but it's be so unorganized, and these simple ways of organizing our lives can bring so much joy.
Yeah.
And just, we hope that you know, this is episode 20. We're really excited that we're gotten this far. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah.
And we just hope that you're having fun. I mean, we're trying to have fun. We're trying to enjoy ourselves. And, you know, yarn brings us a lot of joy, and even if this isn't your thing, if this is just you trying to figure out what your hobby is, and you're just kind of like,
that's okay around, come along with us anyway. We like lots of different hobbies as well.
You know, we just hope that you had a good time.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you again. As it's just like Mom said, we just enjoy this community. We enjoy this family. It feels like a whole bunch of friends together. So we're gonna have to let you go. I can hear my son over the monitor. He's waking up from his nap. Yeah. So we hope that you have a good day and you stitch your way
to mental health.